Hi, I am Tommy Cunningham. I am working on my bachelor's degree in secondary education English. I chose to teach high school because the adolescent mind can be very complex. It is going through many changes and can cause an emotional roller coaster in the adolescent in the classroom. It is important to let adolescents know you understand what they are going through. We've all been through it. It is important dispositions I have that make me uniquely qualified to teach adolescents are I am patient and I genuinely care about teaching the love of learning. I don't just want to give my future students information they need to pass a test. I want them to take the information I give them and spark something inside them that makes them want to research more and learn more about the topics they otherwise wouldn't be interested in learning on their own. I also recognize students learn in different ways. Currently, I work with many high school students. Part of my job is to teach them the policies and procedures that are required in the restaurant. I can teach several different adolescents the same procedure in the same day, but the way they learn can vary between all of them. Depending on the adolescent, they may need to perform the procedure, listen to how the procedure is done, or watch how the procedure is done in order to learn it successfully. I have realized through this, in order to have the best results in training, it is important to tailor how I train that person to how they learn best. This is something I can apply to my future students. Before I enter the classroom, I need to work on asking the why questions. Every student has a life outside the classroom. They have scenarios going on at home or at school that can impact how they learn. It is important I start asking the why questions and not just assume the student does not want to learn the material. I need to ask questions in order to see if it was an outside scenario that affected their grade or something I need to assist them with academically. I believe that a professional educator should lead by their actions. They need to be professional and act as a role model to their students, both in the classroom and online. It is important the educator portrays themselves in a way that students can look up to positively. Students spend 8 hours a day with their teachers. Depending on the parents' work schedule and the student's sleep schedule, this is probably more time they spend at school than with their parents. This gives the educator more of an impact as a role model on the student. If the educator truly believes in their students and believes every child is capable of learning and excelling in school, they can positively influence their students. When the educator gives up on a student, it can make that student feel stupid, unworthy, or unseen. It can cause severe psychological deficits in the student. In order to best uphold the policies, laws, and statutes in education, it is important the educator is well aware of what the policies and laws are. It is easier to make a mistake and go against a policy or statute if you're unaware of what they are. The best way to teach moral development in a classroom is to lead by it. I also feel it is important to explain to the students on the first day what behavior is not tolerated. It is important the students know that plagiarism is unacceptable in any stage in their education. Cheating only hurts the student. Having a no-tolerance policy for these things and explaining the consequences of these negative actions, as well as following up on the consequences, shows the students negative behavior is unacceptable in the classroom, as well as in other areas of life. Recognizing my strengths and weaknesses before I go into a classroom will not only help me be a better educator, but also help my students in their academic life. It is important I work on my weaknesses and apply my strengths in order to give students a more well-rounded education. By doing these things, I can help spark that love of learning in my future students and help guide them to success in their academic lives.